Okay, we are flying back to Dublin. I can't even count how many flights this is, but too many flights recently. You ready, little man? We're going on an airplane. Ready for your holidays, guys? Hi. Another day, another plane. This time we're going to London. Man, I'm tired. Okay, so we're sitting in London. We arrived 30 minutes ago.
Just got coffee.
And we just got an email saying the interview is cancelled because the guy called in sick to work. So, I guess we're gonna fly home now. Great. We were holding up all the other press for this Sky News thing.
Yeah.
Has the other press gone out?
I'd say so, yeah. You can't expect to keep an exclusive for if he calls in sick, but
I had a bad feeling about that on Friday. I was like, it's just so weird the way they haven't even given us a time, and the way the producer isn't even in the studio and they're on air next week. Like, surely they've got things to organise. So we're going to try and figure out our flights now. It looks like the earliest one is 12. 12 from Heathrow. So, yeah, because we were going back at 2 anyway. So there's no point in us sitting in the airport for 6 hours if we can avoid it. And we would stay, but we've got the team day tomorrow, so like there's no point even hoping that he rearranges for tomorrow. The only other one is British Airways, which is probably the Aer Lingus flight.
yeah.
So that's the only flight we can get. So
No earlier.
12.
Yeah, 12 is the only one.
Oh, you don't have the 12? It says there's 5 left at this price.
Yeah.
Are you in change your flight?
Oh my god.
Because our actual flight's earlier than that, no?
Yeah.
So I've rebooked my flight. Gary's rebooked his flight. For some reason, Niall can't get on the flight, even though it says there's seats. Murphy's Law. Everything that can go wrong will go wrong. Every single time. We're going to go and try and find Niall a ticket on this airplane. If not, you might just have to live in London. It's very expensive here. So best of luck with that.
It's cheap in the airport though.
We're not paying you any more salary if you move here. Oh my god.
I think I'll survive.
There they are, the beautiful green shamrocks. You got it.
We're not staying.
Now we gotta find the lounge. So Niall, Murphy's Law. We get to the fucking departures lounge. Aer Lingus, the only lounge I can see that's closed. But premium lounge located on the lower departure level by desks 90 to 30. So down we go. Premium Plaza Lounge probably better than the Aer Lingus Lounge. Yeah. Fuck. Plaza Premium Lounge, they should remove the premium from that. That's all I'll say.
Agreed.
So we're trying to decide, there's already articles gone out about the fundraiser. Do we get them taken down, which is what one of the PR agencies has suggested, and then go on Sky News this week, hopefully, if your man doesn't kick the bucket. Hopefully he doesn't, obviously. And those other places won't write the articles about us again. I think articles are more important for like the company because people Google them and read them. Sky News is more important for us because we seem really important. Yeah. I'd always be in favour of just getting the fuck on with it.
Move on fast.
Move fast and don't delete articles about you from the internet.
No.
So I don't know if you saw the email, but there's an article that's already gone out this morning. Yeah. So, like, I guess my thinking is that we should just get on with it, and if Sky News want to feature us, they should feature us, and it'd be great. But at this point, I think we risk burning bridges with the people who are actually going to write the articles, which are obviously Sky News is amazing for our profiles, But those articles are the things that people are going to Google when they like get emails and stuff from us, and gives us credibility as well. I would say give it till this afternoon, see if some light sheds itself on Sky News, and then maybe have another check-in with the idea that we might just need to. We don't want to let this just fizzle out either, because people are going to pick up on it because it's you as well, Grace, which even makes it more. Like if it was Jake and Gary, like we could probably hide it until Wednesday and look at this article that went out on Monday. But
Yeah.
I time travelled.
yeah, you look identical to.
Yeah.
I have a different haircut and everything, and that's us now.
Really?
We did it.
I took
Funding
that photo
announced.
as well.
Sky News cancelled. This way. It is 7 p.m. Me and Gary flew home and worked in this hotel until now. We're in Dublin. I'm gonna go to sleep. We're back up early in the morning to spend the whole day with the team in person. Okay, so today we have our first ever in-person team day for Retrograde. There's some new hires, there's some existing hires, there's me and Gary as the founders. Grace is going to dial in from London for a while. It's a big day. It's like the first time we meet everyone. It's a big opportunity to like put the stamp of the company culture down and sort of show the vision and the mission and all that stuff, what we're trying to accomplish. But really, mostly just get to know each other and get to feel the physical vibes, which are super important when you're running a remote company. It can be so hard to just understand people and know what they mean and know their little idiosyncrasies and their traits and their mannerisms. So being in person is super important, and it's something that we hope to do probably every 6 to 8 weeks, I think, or at least not too much longer than that in between each session. So today's the first one. It's all day. It's gonna be a lot of information, a lot of talking for me and Gary, and hopefully we'll get some lunch in the middle of it, and just mainly, as I said, just get to know people. It's so important, especially on things like Slack, where it's short bursts of little text messages and there's no facial expressions, there's no body language, there's no tone of voice. It's so easy to take people wrong, especially me. I usually write in a really blunt way. That's just kind of how I think, but when you read it, it looks really bad and it probably seems like I'm really angry. So this kind of stuff is critical for that. So really it's just getting to know people and getting them as much up to speed as we can in one day, which is hard anyway. There's only so much people are going to be able to take in. It's exciting, it's a new job, it's a lot of new people, new stimulus, that is taxing on the brain. So we'll try and get as much information as we can in, but mainly the goal is like get comfortable with people, build trust, and get moving.
Technologies, machine learning, algorithms, NLP, deep learning models, etc., etc. We also need to know.
Hey Grace.
Hey Grace.
Hang on, my sound is off. We can't hear you. Try again.
Oh, it's like that Kardashian FaceTime thing. Yeah, sitting there.
Like you can have Okay, so we landed back in Portugal about 2 hours ago. I'm in the Tesla, charging it, getting some work done. And this week has been such a hard week. Like, when I say hard, I really mean hard. I flew home on Sunday, which was fine. I got up at 4 a.m. on Monday to fly to London to go on Sky News. Only to find out when we were in the airport in London getting ready to drive to Sky News that the presenter that was due to interview us called in sick, and the interview was off. So we had to change our flights and sit in Heathrow Airport for another 4 hours. Then We flew home. I went into the city centre with Gary and we did some work until about 6 or 7 o'clock. Little baby Axel had got his vaccines that day, and I got into bed at about 9 o'clock. I was so tired, and Kate texted me saying Axel's temperature was pretty high. It was like 39.4, which I'm not a doctor, but I think that's very high for kids, for babies. It might be very high for people, but definitely for babies. It was like, okay. So we called like, you know, the 24/7 health line from your health insurance and stuff, and they were like, yeah, his breathing was really fast and stuff, so they're like, yeah, just bring him to the hospital. So we brought him to hospital. In fairness, we got seen very quickly, and the doctor was so nice, and it turned out he was completely fine. They gave him like a little bit of ibuprofen or Nurofen, baby version, and his temperature came straight down, and he was laughing. But anyway, I got home at 12 midnight, and then I stayed up until 2 in the morning, working on slides for the presentation the next morning for the team. We had the first time we had the whole team in person and new team members and everybody in the same place at the same time, so we really wanted to get like a big presentation done and try and share as much information as possible. So I stayed up until 2 in the morning doing that. I got up at 7 the next morning to get into town to be ready for 9 because the traffic's so bad in Dublin. 9 to 6, basically all day, myself and Gary speaking, presenting to the team, answering questions, getting people up to speed, like very just switched on all day. Got home, went to sleep, that was all good. Just yesterday, Wednesday, I just could, like, I'm pretty sure I'm just so burnt out at this point. I'll get into that in a minute, but I was just staring at my laptop for like 4 hours, and I just knew what I had to do, but I just literally couldn't achieve anything. I was just sitting there like a vessel. So at some point I just gave up, and I went for a walk, and then eventually a bunch of shit started kicking off yesterday evening. And obviously I forgot to say that we announced our funding round as well on Monday while we were in London. So that added to a little bit of the excitement. And yeah, yesterday, Wednesday, I just couldn't function. So then get all our stuff packed and ready to fly home to Portugal this morning and last night. And Axe starts just crying uncontrollably and won't go to sleep and is really upset, and he starts coughing and he's got sniffles and a runny nose, and it's like, I guess he got a cold, a virus, and it's the first time he's had that, so he's obviously very confused by it and upset, and just the worst night's sleep ever. Like, Kate had it so much worse than I did, but we had a terrible sleep. My mom was in the house, she had a terrible sleep. Axe was just crying all night, probably got like 3 hours sleep, up at 5 in the morning to get on the airplane. Axe was still upset, still sick, still crying. Fly on the airplane. I've already at this point decided I'm completely burnt out. So then I get home. We're gonna bring him to the doctor now in a few hours. We booked an appointment. The car was low on battery. I come to charge the car. I'm happy right now. I'm in a good mood. I'm just like trying to like go back over the week. It was like such a hard week, and I'm so fucking tired. And at some point on Wednesday, I think I just realized, maybe on Tuesday or Monday, they're all the same these days, I just realized I was completely burnt out. So I've been having like panic attacks recently. Every time I need to get on a plane, I've been feeling short of breath, just really anxious, like really irrational about stuff, and I've been finding it very hard to like move through the gears and work. Like I mentioned to you yesterday, I just couldn't do anything. I've just noticed I was unhappy and like frustrated, and I was getting angry and I was getting anxious, and it wasn't being my productive self, because normally I'm like really productive. It's like I was still doing stuff, but not to my level, not even to half of my level. And it was only then I realized I'm completely burnt out. So the last time I took time from work was when Axe was born in February, and the poor guy went back to hospital after 3 days because we thought there was something really wrong with him. He had hypothermia and stuff. And luckily it turned out he was just a little bit small and he just needed to grow a little bit, which he did. So thank God for that. But oh my God, it was the scariest thing ever. So I don't even think, I can't count that as time off. And it wasn't really time off because my head was still thinking, you know, we're going to build the product, we're going to plan the company, we got to raise money, it's all going to happen. And like, yeah, it took 2 weeks off. Obviously having a brand new baby is an experience in itself. It's not like I can just go in 9 to 5, forget about it. It was like work was always there. Started raising money, I guess, around April. Started like hiring people, you know, getting ready for the raise, all the legal documents, all that stuff was like very intense and stressful while planning the launch and building the product. Launched in July, fundraising complete in August. It's the start of September now. We just announced the funding. We've just hired a full team of like 7 or 8 people. And I've just been absolutely gunning it since really like November last year, maybe even October, when I started trying to convince Gary and Grace to join in September. So really since September I've been like pumping it hard, but really from November, like really pumping it. And like the only time I've taken off was to have, like, my wife obviously had the baby, but like, you know, so we could have Axe, and that was scary. And now I'm just defeated. I'm like a fucking shell of a man. And not to mention, sorry, in the story there, so since February we've had a baby, we've moved country, we've done the funding round, launched the company, bought a house, and like 5.5, 6 months. It's like, I think moving country for most people would be a lot to do in a year. I think having a baby for most people would be a lot to do in a year. I think launching a company would be a lot for most people to do in a year. I think raising a funding round will be a lot for most people to do in a year. And I decided to do them all in the same 6 months because I'm an idiot. But I got it done, and now we can sort of reap the rewards. But yeah, I'm taking 10 days off. I'm fucked. I can barely speak English. I stare at my laptop. I know I'm burnt out because I'm at the point where all I want to do is work, but I can't work. Anytime I sit down to do it, I basically just drool on the keyboard. And then as soon as I leave the room, I'm like, oh, there's an idea. Oh, I really want to do this, so I should do that. And yeah, it's just, I'm done. See, I have a whole, like, I guess, framework for burnout, and I have a whole bunch of stuff I do to avoid it, and I'll probably make a different video about that. But yeah, I'm probably going to end this week's video here because I'm completely garbaged. I'm so burnt. I can't even think properly. I'm not even present, and yeah, hopefully a little bit of rest just makes it all go away.